Thank you for the introduction, and great to be here to talk about two very interesting stories, how to bring products from Europe into market them in the Vietnamese market. And we will have a very, let's say, practical journey here, where we have two products, which is one is a collagen brand, then a perfume brand. Which steps did we do in order to approach the Vietnamese markets? What did we have to adapt? What did we learn? Finally, how you can use social channels to market the products. We have a pretty male crowd here. I see also some females, but in general, health and beauty in Vietnam is a huge market. It's about $3 billion. And since I'm German, I want to tell you also why I'm interested in this market. My wife is actually Vietnamese, and she always asked me when I was coming over, or we were coming over, to bring some German health supplements. And then I got curious, because I have a company producing health supplements and selling them in e-commerce in Germany. So I was very curious, why is there such a demand for healthcare and beauty products in Vietnam? And then I was learning that it's a huge thing in Vietnam, and people are willing to spend way more of their income on such products compared to Germany. And then I was really amazed about the speed things are happening here. So we decided to go into the Vietnamese market. So in Germany, we have several e-commerce brands, from pregnancy to health and beauty. And we decided to bring collagen here to the Vietnamese market as a first product, and why I will elaborate on later. And now I would like to hand over to Nhi. And one interesting fact about Nhi, she lived a long time in Germany. So I shared my story, why I came to Vietnam and why I want to do more with Vietnam. And Nhi, you started also with social media quite early, 7 years ago, or maybe even some time earlier in Germany. And then you said, no, I want to come to Vietnam.
Yes, exactly. So as Jan already shared with you, I was born and raised in Germany. I'm Vietnamese. And 7 years ago, I decided to move to Vietnam to, of course, like every one of us, to follow our dreams, to do our passion, and to start our own business. And for me, it was an opportunity to start my business in Vietnam. So I started in fashion first, had my own fashion brands in the last 7 years, because my suppliers are all in Vietnam. And then later on, last year, I launched my perfume brand, which is a niche perfume made in France. And then for me, we had similar challenges bringing our products from Europe to Vietnam, because this is like something we're going to later share with you, what for challenges we had to bring our products from Europe to Vietnam. But it was a very exciting journey, starting something in beauty. And that's why I met Jan also. And maybe we're going to have soon like some collaboration between a supplement company, Nova, and with me. But for me, like, being an entrepreneur at one part, and also being a content creator, the other part, was helping my business to grow very fast, because I had my community, which I built for many years, which are not only my community, but are my followers, but also my customers who believe in the products I'm creating for them. And now starting a beauty brand is a new chapter for me, and I hope every one of you gonna follow and join this adventure.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we were thinking about collaborating, and in this session we will reveal a secret why we don't do it. So this is something you will also learn in this session. So, let's talk about the beginning, bringing a European brand to the Vietnamese market. That means also learning about the customers in Vietnam. And we heard in a session before about Fissler and German kitchen appliances are not so innovative. And the Japanese are more innovative. I think the one very good thing is with the Japanese companies, they're very more near to the Vietnamese market. So they cater to Asian consumers. And this is very crucial. And I want to give you one example with our collagen. So in Germany, there is a huge trend called collagen coffee. It was supported by a brand called Glow 25, and they made it really popular to drink pure collagen in your coffee every morning. And this was an incredible, huge market. So in Germany, you'd see mostly collagen products as like a bulk of pure collagen. But if you have tried collagen, some taste say it tastes like onions, others say it tastes just awful. But it has really distinguished, not very nice taste. And then we did some market research on the platforms here and saw, okay, there are a lot of European brands selling this bulk product here in Asia. And then we decided, okay, let's do the same. And we gave some samples to Vietnamese customers. And so they had this bulk of collagen, and we said to them, please take 1 spoon of collagen every day, stir it in some juice or milk, and then drink it. And what happened after this test was everyone was like, this is so disgusting. I don't like it. Oh, shit product, go away. And then we were asking, how did you prepare your drink? Did you drink it with coffee, with juice or milk? And everyone said, no, we drink it with water. And with water, you have an awful taste. But in Vietnam, everyone enjoys eating outside. They drink outside. So the fridge is technically empty. So there was nothing to mix it with. So we said, okay, this approach is not working. We need to have a special product for Vietnam. And I want to show you here a bit different. So on the left side, we have the German product, which is just the sack. And then on the right side, we have a single-use portion product with also elements in the design with the gold foil, which signals a very high quality, also with the made in Germany on there. And what's very important to Vietnamese customers, they want to spend money, they want to have a good product, and they want to have convenience.
Yes.
And so that's why we decided to have this single portions where you just have to can stir it into water. And then also important, at the moment, there is still, the German health products are very trusted. So the prints have to stay German, so it's recognized as a German brand. But I think this is a time span that will close at some point of time, because the Chinese brands in healthcare, they're very cheap. So they cater right now more like to cheaper brands. And therefore, for European brands, mostly in the premium segment, there's a market, but that market that could also go away, especially because Japanese, Korean brands, they're very well perceived here in Vietnam as well.
But then also the middle class market, which is a very growing market, is a potential market. So even though, which I think because you're coming from Germany to Vietnam, and German products are known for their quality, known for their trustworthy products, which can be a really a good start for you bringing a German product to Vietnam, because Vietnamese, they love things from abroad. They love things from Germany, from Europe, from America. So starting your supplement brand from Germany and bringing to Vietnam, I think is a good start. And also when you are reaching, in my opinion, the middle class and the premium market, because like competing with the Chinese market is almost impossible because their price is so much cheaper. So why should you compete with the Chinese price and their quality when you can keep your German values and your standard, and then really keep this premium class, which is also serving for the middle class. And as I know, is the middle class is really the one of the strongest class in Vietnam, which is growing fast and giving us a lot of potential to sell like collagen, premium products, niche perfumes. Because like 10 years ago, for example, niche perfume, it was like a 30 million like market value. And now until today, it's like tripled the size. Means like perfume is growing so much, and I believe that collagen and other beauty products are also growing so much. So it's booming, and there's so much potential for the beauty market in Vietnam to grow more and more, and to compete also in the premium market, not only in the mass market.
No. And Nhi, you brought your own brand with Nimai
Yes.
here. And what were your thoughts when you brought a product to Vietnam? Did you do any localization, or did you want to set up a global brand?
Yes. So for us, with the bigger picture, we really wanted to start Nimai as a global brand. So we already have all the licenses to sell our perfume globally and also sell it in Vietnam. And I think like getting the license globally wasn't that much of a struggle. It was quite easy, just following the processes. But then getting the license for the perfume in Vietnam was taking for us a very long time. I think it was the same challenge what you have been through. It took us like 6 months to get the license only for 1 cent to sell it in the Vietnamese market, because it's considered to be like it's a drug, like chemistry of drug, like ministry of drug. So you need to go through a lot of like procedures because there's chemicals, alcohol inside, and also fragrance, essential oils. And so it was really, really not easy to bring this product into Vietnam. But once you started at the beginning, it's going to be challenging. But afterwards, you know how it works, and it's going to be easier. And I think it's the same for you. It was at the beginning a challenge, but now you're here.
Yeah, exactly. So it took way longer for us with all regulatory approvals than we expected. So for us, it took about 1 year. And to reveal the secret now, this is a secret why we're not working together yet. Because this is something that you can't so easily adapt in your planning. Because sometimes in the ministries there are changes, and then processes just take longer. But one very important learning from that journey, when it comes about certificates, every letter has to be correct. If there's just one abbreviation or something like this, it might be rejected, and you can do another turn, and that will increase the market time as well. And then it's not to underestimate, there are quite a lot of costs to bring a product into the registrations. So important to very mindfully choose, if you have a variety of products, which one to bring.
Yes, because for each product, depending on if you change like the color of it, change the one ingredient, or change the packaging, or even only the label of the packaging, is a new license. So when you create that product, you really need to be sure which product you want to bring in Vietnam to make your hero product, or like which one gonna make your brand grow at the beginning, because you cannot bring like 10 SKU to Vietnam because you would need like 10 different licenses. So you need to really calculate it in the beginning to start your business.
Let's talk a bit more about the customers in terms of education. How much do they know about beauty and healthcare products?
For me, I think like because this market is still like a very new and growing market, when in terms of collagen, health products, beauty products like perfume, niche perfume, is a product which these are products which are very new in Vietnam. Means like when you start into this market, you need to educate the customers. So really like inspire them, educate them, and make them like aware of the products. What are you selling? What are the values of these products? And what is niche perfume? What's the meaning behind it? Why we're using collagen? Why it's important to use collagen? And what are the benefits you have in your product? And to educate the customers, it's around, it takes time. You need to like use social media marketing, influencer marketing, different kind of media marketing to really reach that audience and to educate them. So it's something you cannot rush, and it needs just time. But I think it's important like to have content which are valuable for the customers to understand what you are selling and what's the benefits the customers getting from the product.
Yeah, this is actually a huge challenge for high price products. A lot of products are sold like with multi-level marketing, for example, where a person really explains to another person the value of the product. But if you sell through e-commerce, through social media, it's quite important to make the users really understand what makes your product worth it. And just to give you one example, what I experienced in terms of customer education. I was going to a health product shop here in Vietnam, and they told me I have to place my hand on a plate, and then after 30 seconds there was a countdown going down. They told me, you have a vitamin A deficiency, and if you don't supplement it, you're going to get cancer. So
in Vietnam, the pharmacy is like the doctor.
Yeah. So, but there is no, there's still a way to go for consumers to understand the product, to understand that you need a blood test in order to verify your vitamin A levels and so on. So it's also about communicating why like a German product has a better quality. And also if you have, for example, the premium form of collagen that's more bioactive compared to other ones, you really have to make sure to communicate it. And in this way, I think social media is a great advantage, because you get the people easily hooked on the phone. And I think where in Europe it's quite common to read, right? It's here more consumer content in social media.
To watch. I think living here in Vietnam for 7 years already, what I recognize is that in Vietnam, people don't like to read things. They really like to watch things. So to get information, it's not like they will read the FAQ and will read like the instructions. They don't like to do that. They want to watch videos to get educated, to learn something, to get inspired. So having like videos, short videos will help them to really understand your products. Especially when the videos are too long, people are not having the attention to watch it. In Vietnam, I feel like the attention span is really, really, really short. And that's why it comes to the point that we need to make social media or content which is suitable for the market. And I think this is going to be a big topic which we're going to share in this speech today, and which we share with the next how we launch a product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So for example, for my brand Nhi Mai, when we launch a product at the beginning, it has to be a really big launch. And why it's a big launch is, first of all, for brand awareness, to really catch the attention of the people. Then also like to get new customers, and also to build a community. And when we launch a product, social media was helping me a lot, because like the cost of social media is not that much. If you already built like a little bit of your community, then you don't need to run that much advertisement, don't need any fixed costs for your store or anything. Like the fixed costs are really low when you do everything online. And so when I started my beauty brand, Nhi Mai, my perfume brand, we started really only with online. We have a website, social media, and the social media is bringing mainly the traffic, and also my personal Instagram, and then working with like different kind of influencer marketing. Because in Vietnam, influencer marketing is a really, really big tool. You don't do business in Vietnam when you don't do influencer marketing. And maybe in Europe or in Germany, people don't do it as much as here. But in Vietnam, it's really essential. If you have a product, you need to work with the community. You have to build a community, work with different kind of levels of influencers, no matter if it's content creator or influencers. Influencers can be, for example, big people who can really like having like a lifestyle, having like an influence in the society, also called celebrities. But then these are 20% of the money you would spend on, and 80% you have to spend the money on marketing for KOC. KOC, like key opinion customers, are like people who are like less than 10K followers or less than 50K followers, who are your potential customers, but also people who love your brand. And these people you can work with as well to review about your products. And this is what in the beauty industry in Vietnam is working really well, that people are working with little KOCs to have like many content, which is like going like a wave through social media, and everyone want to see your product. And then on top of it, you work with like big KOLs and influencers who make the brand awareness and make the brand wanted. And this is something you need to build over time, because it's like a whole community. And it helped me because this is how you really make people want your product. Even when you look at big beauty brands in America, like Rose from Hailey Bieber, which is also like a big celebrity, whenever she launched a product, the whole social media is only of her product for like a week. And this is how you catch attention of the customers. And if you have a good product, they will come back. And this is how Vietnam works. And I have like a slide when I can show you like how, like maybe like a short insight how we launch a product. Yeah. So as you can see overall, like it's like a whole event, like a party where you bring customers, KOLs, KOCs, everyone together to really engage with the product and to talk about it, to make content about it. And this helps really the brand to get that awareness. And especially at the beginning when nobody knows who you are. And social media can really be a tool to help you boost that awareness. And I think this is also something which Nova can use when you guys are soon launching to Vietnam, to use more like influencer marketing, social media, and work with like KOCs. And within a budget, of course.
Thao Nhi, when we talked before, you were telling that there are a lot of influencers here, but a lot of different qualities of content around.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a bit on this?
Okay. When it comes to Vietnamese market, I feel because everyone in Asia is using a smartphone. And in Vietnam, everyone is, for me, a content creator. Even my staff, my neighbor, my family, everyone is kind of a content creator in Asia, because everyone loves to take content, take photos, take videos, and to share it on social media. But then there are different kind of levels of content quality and KOLs or KOCs you work to. So you really need to be aware of what kind of product you are and what kind of niche you want to reach. If you are a premium product like us, then probably you will not work with, you have to work with KOCs or KOLs, which are giving the same quality what you want for your brand, because these people are representing your brand. So it's really important at the beginning when you choose your influencer or choose your KOLs that they suit to your brand, because many brands are making the mistake that they just work with everyone and work with no one in the end. Because like, is this person really embodying your brand? Is this person speaking the language of your brand? Is this person really loving your brand? So this person can represent your brand. And at the end of the day, customers, when they see the advertisement, they want to see authenticity. So it means that the person you're working with has to have this lifestyle, have to love this product. If not, like, this influencer marketing makes no sense. It's just like paid advertisement, but without personality and without authenticity. So I think it's really important that to filter and be selective on the people you're working with to represent your brand. And for me in Vietnam, because I'm doing premium product, it's actually not that easy to find influencers or content creator in that class. Because when you go to mass market, there are many KOLs, many KOCs. There's so much content going in TikTok and social media every day.
And let me quickly interrupt you. And in Vietnam, everyone has a side business, a side hustle. Everyone wants to make some money on the side. And There are some platforms where they work like an affiliate, where you as a micro-influencer, as you and me, like everyone, can sign up and promote a product and then earn some revenue if it's sold.
Yes.
And so there are tons of people promoting products.
The whole time. And that's why social media, right now, many of us, when we go on social media, it's only about promoting products. It's very all about seeing ads. And that's why people are not engaging so much on the videos anymore, because everything you see is advertisement. So how to catch the attention of the people when it's not affiliate marketing, when it's not influencer marketing, paid corporations. So to create and make content really creative enough to keep their attention of the clients and the consumer. And for me, I feel like in Vietnam, it's really, really difficult to do that. But if you are catching really the attention of the clients with good creative content, working with the right KOLs, doing the right affiliate, then you can really make your brand strong. But if not, it's like everywhere. That's why I need to be really specific on your target of marketing.
And for your brand launch, would you say, I mean, you're a celebrity in Vietnam, and was this what made it successful, or was it the collaboration also with other creators?
I think it's everything together. Like, definitely it helps when you are having your own community already and having our own brand awareness, which helps you to launch a brand, but it doesn't translate into if your brand is successful or not. Doesn't mean if you are like superstar that your products are selling well when they're not good. So it's still important that your products has to be good, has to be being wanted, and also building the community around that brand, which is not only you, but the KOLs, the influencers, and people around who are like believing in the brand and believing in what you're doing. Because the beauty industry is very fast. It's, for me, I feel like right now it's even faster than fashion industry. So to keep up with the speed is a big challenge, but that's why you need the people in the community around you who are believing in the brand and pushing it with you. Because pushing a brand by yourself, it's impossible.
No. And I just recall that we heard here some session where it was about young people. They want to get cheap products via social media, and if they see like a packet of chips, they want to wait even 5 days if they get a bargain. In the premium segment, it's quite the opposite. And here also in Vietnam, you need this, I would say, long breath. It takes some time to build the brand, to build the community, and not to sell just right away, right?
Yes, exactly. So it would be the same for Nova as well. Like, what I can imagine for Nova, what will work well is for sure affiliate marketing. This will just run by itself. And then also what I think is really important is like working with like KOCs and KOLs, especially with KOCs, who are also like customers of Nova. And then also working with people who are really in the health industry, understanding about supplements, about health, having like a nutritious lifestyle. These kind of KOLs would be very like essential for Nova to build that awareness also for supplements in general.
Regarding your sales channels, could you give us like a brief overview? What works well for you? Is it platforms that perform? Is it your own online shop, Instagram, TikTok?
For us right now, it's like one of the strongest platforms is Instagram to sell our products. So I don't know how it is in Germany, but in Vietnam, Instagram is fast selling a lot. Then after that, it's our website and our store. Because in Vietnam, people still love to go shopping offline. They love to touch, love to feel, and love to experience the product. So offline shopping is still a very essential destination for the customers in Vietnam to really get to know your products. Then on the other side, driving the sales to your own website, which is, I think, sustainable because it's less cost and more control over your supply chain and your sales. Then Instagram is strong for us because we are selling a premium product. So Instagram is more relevant than, for example, TikTok and Facebook. Because when you have a mass product, it's going to be more TikTok and Facebook for sure. But because Nima is very premium product and more like aesthetically, so it's suitable for the Instagram social media platform.
Yeah. And regarding, let's say, revenue split, what would you say? And also in terms of operations, Is there a difference between platforms, online shop, where you have their own operation and can control everything?
For me right now, like I focus really on the own operations, like on our own website, our own store, our own social media handles. Because before we were also focusing on the channels like Shopee and TikTok Shop, which worked really well in the beginning. But then nowadays we also find it harder because to manage the commission fees, the return rates, and all this kind of extra money, which makes the operation more difficult, and there's a lot of extra fees coming up. So what I think for our product, it's still good to manage it by our own channels. Of course, we're still having live streams on TikTok and live streams on other channels. Shopee, for example, because this is an essential part in the beauty industry. In Vietnam, when you do beauty and if you don't do live streams, you cannot make it. You have to do live streams. And this is like where it comes to tailor shopping. When I was talking to someone before, tailor shopping was huge in Europe and huge before in Asia as well. And now it's coming back in live stream format. So it's the same as tailor shopping, but it's just on social media. And you make it more creative, nicer backgrounds, more interactions, and a lot of discount. But if you are a premium product, then doing live streams with a lot of discount is maybe not suitable. So you really need to think, is live stream and this kind of sales your strategy? For me, I don't want to make sales on my premium product. It's a niche perfume. You don't go to Chanel to buy a discounted bag. This is what you don't want to do. But if you're a mass product and you can make sales because you're selling in quantity, with high quantities, then I think it's a perfect channel to really make your brand, like building brand awareness, selling a lot of quantities. But you have to sell a lot because if you make discounts, the margin is not that high anymore. So I don't know, what do you think? Would you love to like do live streams more for Nova? Or what do you think would be the best strategy for your supplement product?
Yeah, what we see as very important is the point of customer education. So it's customers perceive German brands as very technologically advanced. And I think this is something that we need to communicate, like why is our product in certain features superior, and maybe even how can the customer self-educate himself in order to distinguish product qualities by himself. And we also have a pregnancy brand, which is doing very well in Germany, where we have a really, let's say, natural design. And we, for example, tested this year in Vietnam, and it was not working. And why it wasn't working? Because people did not understand that even that the product looks very natural, it's very technically advanced.
Because branding is important, and that's where we come now also to the end of the presentation. But it's really important when you start a beauty brand, a supplement brand, a health brand, or a perfume brand, or whatever brand it is, the branding and the visual of the brand is really important. Especially in Asia, people really take care about it. They want to buy a product which looks good, which also is good for your body and good for your health, has good effects. But if it doesn't look good, then they don't want it. And that's just how it is. And if you want to enter the Asian market, the look, the feel, the branding, and the reputation of the brand is really essential for the Vietnamese to buy the product. Okay.
And Nhi, since you know social media in Asia very well, the dynamics, what's going on, is there something for our guest also from Germany that you think that was trying in Germany, or that you miss in Germany, and say why are the people are not doing this in Germany?
Why in Germany people don't use social media as much, or what do you mean exactly?
No, if like there are some tools, some trends that are not picked up in Germany.
I guess like because I was growing up in Germany, it's like throughout the whole history in Germany, everything was starting step by step. We have the cable first, we have the telephones at home, then later on we have like suddenly like internet, And then after that, we have social media and all these kind of things. It was really a step by step in Germany. But when it comes to Vietnam, Vietnam was really undeveloped, like say, let's say 10 years ago. But then they developed at one point and everyone had internet because it was still easier to do like digitalization and using internet and smartphones than now doing everywhere cables, having a telephone at home. Nobody's using telephones in Vietnam. Everyone have a smartphone. And this is also like where I can see why in Vietnam or in Asia in general, people are more advanced in digitalization and they're adapting to it. Even my grandma is having a smartphone. She's 85 and using social media like I'm using it. But I don't think a grandma in Germany who's 85 years old are using a smartphone as much as the woman or the man doing it in Vietnam. It's just because like people are now growing with the rapid growth in Asia and having to learn to be adapting with the social media, with the digitalization, and makes people easily to adapt and easily to be on social media, whereas like in Germany, people are still comfortable laying back, using what they know to use because the telephone at home still works, the cable TV is still there, and social media is dangerous. Smartphone is too much information, I'm not using it. And this is just a difference. But in Vietnam and Asia, people just want to have this change and want to see that growth and want everything to be fast and efficient and also convenient. What I feel like in Germany is not the case yet. Even like in China or in Vietnam, we do everything with our smartphone. We pay with it, we live with it, we get inspired, we learn, we get educated. It's everything on the smartphone. We buy our life on our smartphone, which is not the case in Germany yet because we still love to use cash. Online payment is still not really like a big thing. And there's so many things which in Germany is not advanced yet as in Asia, even though it could be so much more because Germany is such a developed country.
This brings us kind of back to bring a bit of Asian speed back to Germany.
So thank you so much for having this conversation.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if we have time for one or two questions.
Just one question.
Okay, if we have one.
I think we have two. Maybe you can make two.
Thank you so much for your insights. I was wondering because like back in Europe, everybody is expecting the massive launch of TikTok Shop, and they're already around here. So I was wondering, like, when you look at the customer journey, because you mentioned that it was working for you now when all the commissions, and you look at the profitability of this channel is deteriorating from your perspective. But when you look at the customer journey, it's a seamless experience, exactly. Right? So you are within the platform, you click, you shop, and you get it shipped. So how you look at it from a like bit more maybe macroeconomic point of view?
From that point of view, I think it's working very well because, as I said, your smartphone, social media, you get inspired watching the videos. You love to watch these videos. You do it already every day, 24/7, and then you can buy the things immediately when you're on it. And you buy, you click, and you have it 2 days later at home. This is like a seamless experience for the customers, and they're already spending their time on social media so much, and then now they can also buy it. It's perfect. Of course, like in that angle, I think TikTok Shop has a bright future, same as Shopee and all this kind of e-commerce channel. I think what didn't work so well in Vietnam, or which makes me upset personally, is there's so many discounts. It's like people are competing each other on discounts on TikTok Shop that all the brands in the end of the day not making money. Like in terms of like customer experience, customers are happy. They love discounts. They get all the discounts they want, and discounts are just every single day. And every KOL is giving so much discounts. All the live streams are discounts. But then in the end of the day, the brands are suffering. And even though I know from like really good friends who are like selling beauty, like big international brands on Shopee, on TikTok is the biggest platform where they make the most money in the beauty industry. It's really number one. And if you do beauty, you have to be on TikTok. It's very important. But then you have to also be aware with the prices and the discounts that you still make a lot of margin, or you have to really sell a lot of MOQ that you get that profitability. If not, there's a lot of costs. You have still your staff running, the fixed costs, if you have stores and everything. And this is the only thing I think the discounts are really disturbing me. But then this is what people want. And at some point, you cannot stop it. It's already started. Commissions are now getting higher. Return rates is like now 3 weeks in Vietnam. So it's a challenge for everyone. Like people using the products, giving it still back after they're using it. It's a challenge, but I think there's a lot of potential for growth. And if you really, as a business, know how to manage your discounts, you can make it really big on TikTok. And I think for Germany, it will be a really big thing. If in Germany, they will launch TikTok Shop. This is my opinion, yeah.
Okay. Second question for you, Nhi. And I know when you launch your brand name, like there's a huge exposure on the internet. Like I experienced myself too. And I agree with you on the KOL and KOC. And now since Vietnam, you have a lot of KOLs and KOC. So I wonder, as a premium brand, as you position Nhi as a premium brand and a niche perfume, what criteria do you use to choose the KOL that, we're going to be your brand ambassador, right?
Yes.
In a way, yeah.
Criteria which I look is not necessarily only the followers, because before people are only looking at the followers. Okay, she has a lot of followers, she's important. For me, that's not true, because for me, it's more important also how this influencer or this content creator is showing themselves on social media, building their own brand. Means like, are they talking about health enough? Are they having a nutritious lifestyle to be represented for Nova? For me, for example, criteria would be, has to have beauty, like doing beauty products, use perfume, having reviews about perfume. Means like this person is interested into perfume. So the content is more authentic, because suddenly out of nowhere, if she's holding a perfume but never before talking about perfume, that means she doesn't really like perfumes. But if it's someone who already before is sharing about perfumes and really like to share about these topics, that means like this KOL, she really honestly liked this product. And then her opinion about the product will be more valuable. So this is one criteria. Then the content quality, means like the pictures, the videos, how's the lighting, how is the way she created, how creative is the content she's doing it, or is it just like holding the product? For me, it has to be more creative than that, because I'm a content creator. I know you can be more creative. And then the last part is just, of course, the pricing. If the pricing is too high and it's unaffordable and it's not fitting in my P&L, then I cannot do it. If the influencer is supportive though, and she has to make a good deal, she say at the beginning, I'm going to support you because you're a new brand and we hope for a long-term collaboration, then we can talk about it and negotiate. But some of the KOLs, they have such a high price, and for a startup brand like mine, I cannot afford that. And then in the end of the day, I really hope that these influencers, they're going to support me on that journey. And then later on, when, you have the capacity and the P&L, it's just like better, then you can really afford these big influencers. But at the beginning, if you feel like these are the criteria, I think it's important to choose the right one for your brand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jan and Nhi.
Yeah.
Thank you.